Hey Vanessa, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Let me mute my computer. Okay. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just got set up. I'm in front of my computer too.
Yeah, I'm away from it now. I don't need to be on it.
Okay, cool. All right. So how's it going?
It's going good. And I want you to hold on to that paperwork. You know what I thought about?
What's that?
Once I sent that paperwork in for my son and everything, um, I needed to wait like 14, 20 days. And if I don't get a response, I need to send in the demand for dismissal and the federal rules of the civil procedures. So I'm going to do that. Because I don't think they're going to respond. So I need to make one more, I think I need to make one more step, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, because this is the thing about them, the agents.
Right.
They're not gonna. If they do respond, it's not gonna be anything like you would expect. It'll be
Right.
a response that has nothing to do with what's going on really, and that's
Right.
all. If you made an obligation in there where they had to respond, they're not gonna give you the response that you're necessarily looking for, or the response that shows that you're right and they're wrong. They're not gonna do that.
Gotcha.
But
Now I'm going to, I got it already, the notary presentment. I got everything noticed to the deputy clerk. And I'm a certified mail tomorrow. I even got my billing costs if they violate. They accept the presentment because they never send it back. You see what I'm saying?
right, exactly.
So I thought I'd wait. Also, there's another change. I sent you an example of me filling out that 4029 for the Medicare tax and waiver for the
Yeah.
Social Security.
Uh huh.
And they sent it back to me telling me it was the wrong form. They said I should have filled out form 4361. So I sent that out the other day.
Form 4361.
Yeah.
1 second.
They sent all three of my contacts back. And said, you filled out the wrong form.
You say 4661.
31. It says application for exemptions of self-employment tax for use by ministers, members of religious orders, and Christian Science practitioners. That other one said just exemption from Social Security. This specifically says, members of religious orders.
Gotcha. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay. So I said that. So we'll see what happens, and I'll let you know.
Okay. Now the thing is that at this point, they definitely accepted whatever you did or everything you did because for one, your son is no longer in custody.
Exactly. And the bondsman never contacted because they would have been on us, like knocking on my door.
Right. Now, I wanted to take this situation to situation. I want to share your experience as far as walking through it with you. Like, what did you go through? Like, when did he get locked up?
Okay. He went to, he got stopped in his little hick town. I live in Oklahoma. So, and he was an hour away, and he got locked up. Got stopped without a license, and I think he had an open container. And then he didn't show for court, so they had a warrant.
Okay.
He got stopped here with some friends, and of course they saw the warrant. So that's when they came and got him from here, took him back down to the room docks where he had to sit until I came and got him. And that's when I sat with the bondsman and signed everything. And that's when I told you, I showed you, I gave you everything that they gave me, the appearance bond and all that I signed. So then I said, I need to do something to get this bond, taken care of. Because if you don't do nothing, and I wanted to do it before quickly,
Exactly.
So that's when I sent all that paperwork that you have. And I sent it registered because I found out that when you do a bond, I didn't know it, but you have to send it registered. I was directed and certified, but then someone told me, no, you need to send a register, any type of bond. Did you know that?
Yeah, so you can get back the form, either that or you request to get back the form 3811, the green card.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was going to do the green card, and I read where you have to do a register. It's more money, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The certified is like $7, but this was a little bit more. But anytime you do a bond, or anything that has to do with, I guess, a monetary value, you have to send it registered.
Okay. Now,
yeah.
What happened when you sent it registered?
That's when I got that top form that I sent you back from the court clerk. She stamped it, and she just sent me that one sheet back.
The affidavit of truth, notary presentment?
Yep, that's all she sent back.
Okay. So all these dealings you did through mail.
Right. So he never pleaded. So.
He never pleaded.
Nope.
He was arrested. He never pleaded. Now.
Right.
Now, when you say you went down there to pick him up.
Right.
You already filed the paperwork.
Nope. I didn't know what they was gonna hand me. When I went down there, I was just getting him bonded out. So
you bonded. So that's how you ended up on the bond.
Exactly.
Okay. So you paid the 10% to bond him out. What, $2,500?
Right. Well, the guy did a deal, so we had to get $500, and he was gonna do payments.
Okay. So you put the money up to get him out, created the bond. So you guys go. So now you go straight forward and start putting together your paperwork to present to the clerk. So the first thing you sent to the clerk was the affidavit of truth, notary presentment, as well as you sent this notice to the deputy clerk.
Yes.
Along.
Let's see, I got it here. I sent that notice. I sent the affidavit to correct the record with my son's thumbprint. I sent the affidavit to correct the record of truth and the private registered bond. Yep, that was it.
Okay. Now you say the private registered bond.
I think that's what it said. Let's see. Yeah.
So basically, did you send along? Did you send your Form 56 in that same packet?
Yes. And I turned over the judiciary to the judge. I'm sorry.
Right.
I sent the appearance bond. Did you see the appearance bond?
Right. You took. Yeah, exactly. That's the first thing I was looking at. That appearance bond. That was one of the main things. So basically, the objective is to grab the appearance bond and to somehow accept that for value, and then on top of that, the Form 56 is usually used to put the liability back on the judge.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So let me see. Now I noticed it was funny because I read your notice to the clerk, and I see you gave exact instruction on what to do with everything you presented to the clerk in your instructions. Now, the notice to see the problem that we have, a lot of people have with general filing with dealing with the clerk. They always, especially where I'm at, Illinois and Indiana, everybody has problems filing, just filing the things they need to file in general with these clerks. They say, oh, they don't file this type of stuff. They have to file, and then they have to. So I was doing my research to find. I'm like, we know they have to, but the problem is, I keep telling you, we can't argue back and forth with verbally with people saying, oh, you have to do this because of this, because of that. We have to be able to show them lawfully, legally, what shows where they have to abide by. The law and file these documents, and that's exactly what you had inside your presentment with the clerk.
Yeah, because I'm like, if you don't say nothing, you know, my son would be in jail right now, under the jail, with this little hick town.
Exactly. I dealt with a situation
just
once.
think about it, Lorenzo. Who does a 25,000 bond? Okay, my son, it probably was like, it should have been a $5,000 but this hick town, and he's the only judge.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I dealt with a situation like that in Illinois called Ford County, and just like you said, they kind of they wait for especially younger kids or teenagers and young adults to come driving through, and it'd be funny. They'd be small hick towns, and I don't know if your son told you this, but I know when I was locked up in the if you been locked up in a bigger city. You get locked up for an offense like a license or something like that. You're looking forward to getting the I-bond easy, or them releasing you right there on the spot, But they was like, they tell me like, I'm like, so how long y'all gonna keep me, man? I'm like, it's like, well, we say anything anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks. I'm like, 1 to 2 weeks. I'm like, he's like, yeah, the judge is gonna come down and talk to you. You like, come where? He like to the cell. So the judge and the sheriff. See, people don't understand. The sheriff runs things around in general. The sheriff has a lot of power. The sheriff and the judge. So the judge and the sheriffs come to the jail cell, and then inside, because we had these cell blocks. You know what I'm saying? It was funny because it's a hick town, predominantly white, but everybody that's locked up was young black folks from the city areas.
Right.
They keep them held.
Yeah. Did you see where I gave them? You did see the instructions I gave them, right?
Yeah.
So they ignored it. All she said back was that one sheet.
Hold on. You say they ignored your instructions.
Yeah.
All claims against deputy must now be released. I mean, I can't really say they did ignore it. I think they didn't ignore it. They didn't ignore it.
See, I was asking for something back. Where is it? Which number? Oh, maybe I didn't say send something back. You're right.
Nah, everything you told them on your instructions, they technically did.
Okay.
They honored your Form 56, which is what number 1 is. Number 2, all claims against the debtor must be released, and he was released. Iris, they honored you. They honored you 100% on that.
The next time I don't want to be a next time, but next time I do instructions, I'm gonna tell them they need to send me something back in 10 days. Yeah,
give them a 10 day.
Yeah, I need to get them. I need, but it's, you live and learn with this stuff. But like I said, I don't want this to go through again.
Yeah. I mean,
of course, my son was so skeptical. He was so, they will come get me. I'm like,
that they gonna come back and get them?
No, just while I was doing all this.
Now what did he think?
I'm telling him, don't call no lawyer.
You told him don't call no lawyer?
Yeah.
She said, let mama handle it. Hey, he better be glad he got a mama that's better than any lawyer out there.
Okay.
Straight up, because he was gonna still be sitting in there, and they was gonna be telling you, well, give you some type of plea bargain, bull crap, and those small hick areas, people be getting caught and lost into the system because they make their money off of them.
Yes, and then my son told me, he said, "Mom, I went and called the lawyer and I told him about their secure party, and he said if I do that, the judge is gonna be more pissed."
He said the judge is gonna do what?
He said the lawyer told my son the judge is just gonna be more pissed.
Right.
He told the attorney that I was a secure party creditor.
Okay.
I said, right now, he's just trying to scare you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all scare tactics. These people work for us. We just have to know how to give them proper instruction and acknowledgement.
Know how to give them instructions. sir.
And first level of anything is our personal status correction. Now, I remember you said in the email that you pulled this before you actually went through your secure party process.
Yes.
So you did this before the UCC filing.
Yes. Yes.
Which
No. I'm thinking of something else. That couldn't have been. I don't know.
okay.
I'm sorry.
That's cool.
I'm getting mixed up with dates.
No, that's cool. I mean, the thing is, what I found, you know, based on other people's experiences and my own, the UCC filing and all the other forms of status correction, authenticating the birth certificate, claiming nationality, sending notices and acknowledgement to all the authorities, all that stuff, because there's different levels and different stages and areas of status. We have to correct status on multiple different areas, depending on what we're doing and dealing with. But all that, it seems to me that all that does is secure us in the midst of a challenge. You see what I mean? Like if someone has to challenge the remedy that we execute and practicing, then we have legal standing as far as status. You know what I'm saying?
You helped me with the when I first did this. I only did it to my state I lived in, and watching you, I went on and did it with Washington and here in Oklahoma. So that was a big because I didn't know to do it, anywhere else but where I lived. I mean, where I was born.
Right. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Man, you know what?
It cost me like $40 to do it here.
Yeah, and it cost only $15 in Washington.
Oh no! I'm talking about. I wasn't playing with here in Oklahoma. That I don't trust them. I sent them a packet.
Oh, to put the things on the record?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. You got to. So did you send that same notice to the clerk to make sure they filed your documents too?
Say that again?
Did you send that same notice that legal notice to the clerk to assure that they filed your documents when you sent it?
You said I sent it to the Secretary of State?
Nah, because we have our UCC filings that we do, and then before the UCC filings, we putting our documents on the record of the counties we lived and the county we was born. So how did you get your things on the record? Did you take it to the county, or did you send it registered mail, certified mail to the clerk?
Oh yeah, I had to do it certified. That's way in Topeka, Kansas.
Gotcha. So you end up doing that. They sent you back an acknowledgement.
Yeah, they sent me an acknowledgement and all over back after they. Yeah, they sent me my whole packet back, showing that they documented and uploaded it in the system, and it was like 77 pages.
Gotcha. And then you put those numbers and filed it on your UCC.
And then I wanted to ask you another thing. Remember I was asking you about, and maybe I didn't ask you, how do you enforce a situation at the UCC?
You say force the situation? What do you mean?
Enforcement. Like, I sent a bill of exchange to Bank of America and the school, Navient now. If they don't accept the bill of exchange, I know if they don't accept it, it's usually saying, hey, it's discharged. But how can I involve UCC if they don't do it right? Because I don't want to play with these people with my car. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. See, you're talking about dealing with a vehicle?
Yes.
All right. So this is what I say about a vehicle, and I only can talk on this based on my personal experience. See, we use UCC in conjunction with other types of law, depending on the situation and circumstances, to be able to get our point across and gain success in that. It's all about tailoring everything we're doing, depending on a per situation basis. Now, as far as a vehicle, we got we got to remember that the UCC is primarily just used for that. It's pretty much just is claiming the collateral. Once we claim the collateral and put that UCC lien on it, now we go to the next step as far as completing the transaction. Since the property.
Let me tell you what I did. Mm-hmm. Just so you know what I did with the UCC. I sent in my car's collateral along with a bond. I sent that bond to U.S. Treasury first, and I did it at 125% more than what the car payoff was. So once I sent it to U.S. Treasury, then I sent it to UCC. I have a UCC number and everything just for the car.
Right, because you got
with the bond. With the bond.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, so because you filed the car separately on the UCC 3 amendment, right?
Exactly, all by itself.
Right. Yeah. So that's how we do it. Now, as far as when you send it to that bond to the Treasury for an amount, you said 125% more.
Yes.
I'm not sure about that because as far as my current understanding on that, we're supposed to do an exact amount because.
No, just a bond. I didn't do an A from B or anything.
Oh, okay.
I just put it on the record.
Okay, I got you.
Just like you would a registered bond.
I got you.
And anything you put on the record, it could be interest and everything else. And because I did a 30-day maturity. Mm-hmm. So I added that and I put it on the bond, interest. And I said, if there's any money left, put it back on the shawman,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this a vehicle that you're still paying on?
Yep, still paying.
Okay. Well, I have a situation to share it, and like I say, you can help perfect this. I've done a remedy that stopped them from being able to report it on the credit to prevent them from repossessing the vehicle and to prevent them from only thing they could do was send me emails and call my phone to try to get me to recontract. That's it.
Okay.
Now
I'll pay you for that information.
That's not how we do it. See, anybody that steps up and steps up like you did and take the information, utilize it, and like your information is good as gold. So all we do is we give each other what we know. You know what I'm saying? And we try to figure out and perfect these different things, together. That's the true value and purpose of the network, But everybody's not doing that. Everybody want everybody to get them all.
I had not been on the internet for a while because I've been trying to read, and then I started reading. I was behind on your videos, right? Mm-hmm. So I got caught up. I said, somebody pick him out.
Mm-hmm. Just like you just said. You said you was busy. You was busy studying all the stuff that's in there already. How you coming to me about this and that and how you do this? How you ain't even reading. You're not even doing your own studying. Everybody should be silent. But for 2 weeks straight, I shouldn't hear nothing from nobody. I provided enough to start off with. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, if they would have did what they supposed to do with the information and start applying it to their current situations, everybody's situation is different. They would have been coming back to the table like, okay, so what do I do next? What do you think about this based on what I've done already and what I've studied? So yeah. So but back to what I was saying about the vehicle. Thus far, you let me know because you're already you're on the other side as far as dealing with the bonds, issuing the bonds. So this is an opportunity to bring both sides together because what I did was I played the concept of owning nothing but controlling everything.
Right.
You see what I mean? Which is technically how we're supposed to. But it is a way where we're supposed to be able to completely discharge, which is the ultimate goal, through either one of these different treasuries, whether it's the Treasury.
I'm ready to sue them, Lorenzo.
Let's get it. I know.
I got a motion to
Of the finance company?
Did not sign it. And the post office told me I could come back to them and see who signed it, and I can get that copy going and put it in with my motions to show cause, because these people are tripping. I done paid them.
Now you talking about you sent it to the CFO of the finance company? Okay, so this is the thing.
Restricted.
These people are not gonna. They don't. Some of them don't even know what to do. The CFOs have lawyers that they do, because I know the battle I was going through with my car for the past couple of years was I was dealing with them and his lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
This is Capital One.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a trip.
Okay. Well, in conjunction with your UCC3 of claiming the collateral, to keep them, I know, to stop them, because basically when we're dealing with finance companies, they have two initial things that give them leverage over us besides our collateral, which is the collateral for one. Not only the collateral as far as being able to take the collateral back by repossession, but the repossession is always the final measure, right? So the first measure of leverage that they have over us is because we use our Social Security number to get the loan. And the finance, that's tied to the credit bureaus, which they can report negative charges on a credit report, which destroys our credit. We need credit. So that's the first thing. So you get hit with the missed payments, late payments. The second phase, after they exhausted that, is after 30, 45, or 2 months, whatever their protocol is to repossession, they repossess the car. So if we block them from reporting and block them from repossessing the car, the only thing left if we want to do is to discharge the debt, but which could be necessary or not necessary. But ultimately, you want to be able to freely drive the car without worrying about being able to take it or report on your on the credit. Now, I want to discharge and get the title. Why not?
I think you did a video on that. Oh no, that was to the DMV.
Yeah, because I have that paperwork up there. I haven't now with my car situation, I end up losing.
Yeah.
I lost at the last round. This is like a it was more so like a moral, personal deal. I didn't want the car. You know what I'm saying? Like I had it was one of my older cars, one of my Lincoln or whatever. I already had my new car, my BMW and all that stuff. It was just I never even drive it. It was in the shop. It was some bullshit going on with it basically, but it was the point of it. It was like a chance to challenge and to figure out how to deal with that type of situation. So the whole time I won, I was winning. Let me tell you why I lost that. Remember, they could not touch the car. They knew exactly it was down. It was down streets. They could not. If you look at my credit score, I'm still in good standing. You know what I'm saying? So, I read the letter to you.
Okay.
And this is where it's important to know when to respond and when not to respond.
Okay.
Now, in conjunction with my UCC3 for the property, what I did was I completed the transaction. In order to complete the transaction, it has to be reported to the IRS, to the IRS. So that's when we do that's when we file the 1099As and the 1096s, because we got to complete the transaction. Remember, it's a fraudulent transaction because we produce the funds and they never actually report and complete the transaction with the IRS, which is fraud. So we filed the 1099As for the acquisition of secure property. What we're doing is we're letting the IRS know that we're the lenders and they're the borrowers.
Yes, I need to know how to fill that out, because I was thinking about doing that too. I just didn't know where to put what.
I have all that done. You know, so I'll send it over to you. That's what keeps them off them in conjunction with your UCC. That's what keeps them off.
Now, when you did the 1099A, the 1096.
Yeah, 1090, the 1096 acts as the affidavit, and you'll notice these IRS documents are red. So the red IRS documents are the documents for the flesh and blood human men and women. Those are documents that we deal with because we have to complete the transactions. These banks and lenders, so-called lenders, are not completing the transaction, and they can't because they can't complete the transaction because they're not the originators of the funds.
Okay, so tell me, let me know why yours didn't work if you did the 1099A and the.
All right, so check it out. Remember, we dealing in commercial law and contract law, so the right to contract is endless, right? So, okay, I didn't answer my phone. I didn't respond to text. You know what I'm saying? I didn't respond to letters, nothing like that. But that's because they were contacting me. They was contacting me based on the original offer. You see what I mean? So now I'm a year past. I haven't paid them in a year. Why come they ain't come and get the vehicle? How come they not reporting it on the credit? So after a year of but they was still harassing me by phone. So this the thing. After all that, I get a letter in the mail stating that man, where is this letter at? Hold on. I get a letter in the mail saying it was like a sob story, like hello Lorenzo, we just after thoroughly reviewing your account, we realized that up under certain circumstances, sometimes this and sometimes that. Basically, we care about our customers and we want you to be in the best position. A whole bunch of BS, right? They don't care. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I have people that work for the finance company that's in the inside. They said they've never seen this type of letter before. You know what I'm saying? So. Like I'm like a big deal. Like I'm like a big my name circulating around. It's like it was like an inside war. You know what I'm saying? So it's like who gonna win type stuff. It was fun, you know. So the thing was, I'm thinking like I'm laughing like these dudes they on their knees now. You know what I'm saying? They realize I'm not going. So now one of my guys told me I should have responded with a cease and desist letter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like or something. Yeah. But because remember, because now they sent it to my address. You see what I mean? Which is jurisdiction again, and I got the presentment, which is a whole new offer. And then at the bottom it said at the bottom, this is not an attempt to collect the debt. And if you are protected by the bankruptcy code, U.S. bankruptcy code, such, like they was like, this is not no attempt to collect no debt. If I've been owing you money for a year, why wouldn't this be an attempt to collect the debt? That's the first thing they tell you when you get on the phone. Then you can't even say hello. Hello, this is such and such. This phone call will be recorded. This is an attempt to collect the debt. And they always say that because that's their point. They're debt collectors, so called. Right. So it was a presentment. They said that they're willing to dismiss all the previous charges and amounts I owe to basically bring me back at zero. And as long as I agree to start making payments on a regular schedule starting next month. I said, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and you ignored the new
person. I ignored it. So, because I said, why do I need to respond? I won. But it was a new offer. It was a new offer. It had a time period on it because the CFO, whoever, a lawyer that knew my status and what I was doing, put that presentment together for him. And they like, okay, you gotta hit him with this. You see what I mean? And I'm like, I'm thinking like, damn, I'm thinking I already won. I'm thinking like I'm thinking because one thing you don't want to do is talk to them about anything verbally, or send a letter in to negotiate a debt. And why am I negotiating if I don't owe? If I don't owe a debt, me negotiating the debt is still, you know what I'm saying, leaves me liable for the debt. I can be in default based on that. You know, so. But I should have responded because it was a new offer. As soon as that 30 days, the 30 days they put aside, the letter expired because they gave me they say if you wish to accept this offer or like please contact the president at such by this date. I ignored it. Then I'm like I swear it had to be like 31 days later. The motherfuckers came and got the car. I'm like, I walked outside. I'm like, okay, I got you. But the game is still on. I'm working on my next move now. I love this. I love being an opportunity to be able to be in a comfortable position to be able to deal with these challenges. Because if that was my car that I needed and that's my attached to my livelihood, oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to probably do it right now.
And see, that's where I'm at. I ain't trying to. They tripping. I done had this car 5 years. Don't play.
Right.
I'm on a 7-year contract, so no, don't play.
What's your interest rate on that?
See, I owe like 3. So it started off. See, I got everything. When I got this card back in 2012, I got everything on it. I got if it got wrecked the next day, I was covered.
Okay.
So the car was 20, but it ended up being 25 with everything else I added. I got extra warranty. I got everything. So I put another $5,000 on it just to cover my back. Right now it's under 5 what I owe. So that's what I'm saying. They need to leave me alone and let me get off this under this 5,000 and leave me alone. I don't pay twice now that I know better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, paid twice. They got their money as soon as you sign for it.
Yeah, the bulk of it.
Mm-hmm. Not only do they want you to pay them back from your hard-earned money, they want to put interest on it too.
Yeah.
The second we sign,
interest was up, 5 years ago. So
the second we sign that promissory note, that becomes a negotiable instrument and legal tender.
I told them to mail me that. They mailed me the original contract.
That's good. So you got the original contract.
Yeah, I got it.
Another thing that we have to order is the vehicle's origins, the origin of title.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that for?
Let me see, because ultimately, see with the whole, because once you register the vehicle and it's a title, that's not the official certificate of ownership.
Right.
But that shows that the state has ownership over the title in general, which gives them ownership over the actual collateral of property. And we're just the actual title holders and not owners. That's why they can still.
But what does that do when you was talking about the DMV when you're doing it on the UCC3? What does that do?
That I mean, we have to claim it first before we can file claims against.
So I see what you're saying.
You
so
see what I
now
mean?
that I've done that, now I can go and request the origin of title.
You can start doing all that now because now you're in your proper place.
Okay.
You've claimed.
And what does that entail? A letter to who?
To get that, you have to contact you have to send that to the DMV. So that'd be Secretary of State.
Oh, in this state. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was just on the phone with them the other day. I be calling them asking questions.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to see. Let me tell you what. When I first started this journey, I watched this one guy, and maybe you're not in Texas, right?
Nah.
No, you're in
Chicago.
Okay. This guy did a webinar on the whole process for the UCC1 and the 180, and he showed us how. Say, for instance, he got a student loan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He showed us on Texas website that he would file, and I told him when he said this, he said he would go on the website and he showed us, put in the affidavit or whatever he needed to do, and he uploaded it as a termination. He said after he did that, then the Secretary of State would mail something to that party, to that creditor.
Well, let me tell you something.
I ain't never heard that.
Let me tell you something. Yeah.
And I ain't never heard nobody say nothing else that Secretary of State gets involved like that.
Yeah, when you're dealing with the Secretary of State and when you're dealing with the DA, the District Attorney or Attorney General. I just had one of the girls out of one of the groups share one of her experiences on dealing with that, and they removed all her stuff out the system.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, when he said termination, I'm like, you don't want to terminate your UCG1, but this is what this man did on his webinar.
Oh, he terminated the UCC1 or his DMV record.
He terminated the collateral. And he said, as soon as he sends it, the Secretary of State gets it, and then they send it to the debt, to the creditors. And this was on Texas website. He terminated the collateral that he got a letter in the mail. Presentment. I said, so the Secretary, and I was asking questions, so the Secretary of State, once you file this termination of this collateral, sends this information that you sent? He said, yeah. I said, they ain't doing that in Kansas.
Right. So what position did that put him in?
They took it out of it. He showed it. That's what I'm like. Are they doing something different in Texas?
You know what? Every place they operate different. So,
yeah, because termination, I guess to one state I mean the same to another state. Because you're right, when I see termination on my UCC filing, they asking if I want to terminate my UCC one. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So that threw me. So that's what I thought. And then I went into the enforcement under the UCC. And I was trying to figure out how their enforcements work. You know, like when you try to get a debt taken care of and they don't honor it. Then the UCC one has a section called enforcement. But I don't understand how it works.
Let me see. You talking on the main website?
Yeah. Well, no, Kansas.
Okay,
I only go to the one where I got all the paperwork, but now I got the, like I said, now I got the paperwork here. Maybe I ought to call them back and ask them how to do enforcement. Because to me, enforcement means you've done what you could do, and these people ain't working right.
Yeah.
So Secretary, I need you to enforce this for me. That's how I thought it. Enforcement meant. Yeah,
it's either, you know what, either or. It's gonna be enforcements, or it's gonna be the compliance departments. Like if you have a fault of debt by discharge of debt through basic paperwork that consists of certain types of law, and you sent it in to the creditor, so-called creditor, and then you call in to check in on the status of that debt. You'll notice that the initial people that answer the phone, they can't talk to you, or they act real shaky and stuff like that, and then they'll end up saying sometimes, like, your case has been sent up to the compliance department. So to comply means to they're complying to you, so that's what. So I would think compliance, if it's not what you just said, it'd be the compliance department, because we need.
Well, I'm gonna call them in the morning, sure, and because everything's on file. I should have no more dealings with Capital One. I'm sick of them.
Now, I think you should definitely keep focus on the whole procedure and remedy that you used with your son's situation, because that's what it's all about with these negotiable instruments and creating these bonds.
I did. That's what I'm saying. That's what I did first. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying. I did that first. I don't know if I explained that to you. I did that first. Remember I told you I put the bond on the Secretary of State. I put the bond with the UCC, and they didn't accept. I mean, I got the paperwork right here, stapled with the certified mail, everything.
Now, did you send it to the?
It was exchanged, and then if they don't accept that, I'm taking them to court because they.
Did you send it to the Treasury?
Why they tripping?
Did you send it to the Treasury?
Yeah. Anything I do when it comes to trying to take care of something, I send it to the treasurer first to get it on record with them.
Well, the Treasury is where, first of all, the Internal Revenue, which is the Treasury, because the IRS.
Send it to that Munich guy.
What's his name?
Stephen Munich, M-N-I-C-K. He's on that Form 56 that I sent.
Okay. I see it. Okay. Now I see you got the DTC, the Depository Trust Company. on your
which line?
I see this on your private registered bond note.
Right. From my understanding, that's where my funds are. No.
Well, that's the question that we need to figure out, because you have, because my point is that we have several different. We have the DTC, the Depository Trust Company. We have the Federal Reserve. We have the Treasury of the Independent Treasury of 1920. Then we have the Treasury Direct. We have the IRS. I mean, not IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, which is the Department of Treasury.
But the DTC routing number is the Federal Reserve number.
You say the DTC?
And the account number is the number on the back of my Social Security. When I say DTC routing number and DTC account number, that's Federal Reserve and the number on the back of my Social Security card.
I'm not sure about that. But
5 is Richmond. If you see it says 05, that's Richmond. Yeah.
So where did you find that the DTC and the Federal Reserve is the same thing?
Because I thought I looked at what DTC meant.
No, there's two separate corporations.
Oh, gotcha.
They're two separate corporations.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna send you a link. So.
Okay. So you're saying the DTC is only my birth certificate number?
We can't say that, because we can't you know what I'm saying, we can't say those type of things, because we got to be aware that it's a possibility that we have several accounts through all these different places. You see what I mean?
Exactly. But that's why you do the chargeback with the 1040B on your birth certificate, you know?
Right. Okay. Now, one thing I do know for a fact, as far as dealing with these bonds, is that our birth certificates in general are negotiable instruments, if used as such. So once a person claims superior title over that ownership over that birth certificate title by authenticating, now you can issue out notes against that main issued bond. Meaning when we go down to the courthouse and order up certified copies of our birth certificate, those are notes.
Right.
You see what I mean?
So that's why they accepted the bond from my son.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, did you send in the birth certificate too?
You mean to the court for that? No.
Okay.
No, I didn't give him a birth certificate.
What you did was you just flipped it. You used the bond that was created on his behalf and flipped it on their ass and like accepted it for value.
Right. And then I said, since y'all, and I used their words on the appearance bond, which they call me the indemnitor.
And you have an indemnity bond on record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And see, they can pull up and see that my UCC filing is here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's public record now.
Right. So they can put it on. But
did you call and check on that?
When you send in the 1099A and the 1096, you send it to the creditor and the U.S. Treasurer, right?
The Internal Revenue Service. The Internal Revenue. So yeah. So you'll see. Like, look, the 1099As. First off, we gotta order all these documents. So you go to the IRS and you order again. I order 100 each every time I order them. I order 100 each.
I wonder if I could just go down here to local.
Oh, it's a location you can go to?
Yeah, it's a local here.
You maybe so, but we need the originals because it's a 3-part sheet, and one sheet goes to the Treasury. One goes to the borrower, which is the lender, the so-called lender, and then the other one is your copy as the lender.
So what's the 96?
Now the 1096 operates as like a affidavit.
Okay, so it's a form that says affidavit on it.
It doesn't say that. It acts like an affidavit. So the form, the form is called the 1096, and it's like I said, it's another red form, and it's.
Do you have to get the original of that too?
We did with all originals with this, all originals.
Okay.
So the 1099 OIDs, the 1099, the whole the 1099 operates as our money in our negotiable instruments as creditors and private bankers.
I also got my whole year of debits and credits at my bank. I mean, I'm sitting here ready.
I see.
And it looks like it's like 32,000.
Mm-hmm.
On my debits and credits for my Bank of America. So, and it's a big stack. So when you do the 1096 for your bank, do I put that whole 32,000 in that box, or do I leave it blank?
Nah, you always put the exact amount that you
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on the card, do I put the amount of the card that it was bought or what's left?
No, you do total amount of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because basically we're completing the transaction, you know. Because all the other dealings that you have with them, that's some other stuff. You know, we're completing the transaction, notifying. It's just the same concept as notifying them of the court cases, so the judge and courts could be liable for the taxes and stuff like that in each court case, which is why you sent them the form 1056. I mean the form 56.
Well, I'm hoping that I can go down here downtown and get these forms because I got another payment due November 1st, and I don't want to pay it.
That's the thing. They're using the 1099s are used for our utilities. Like, so we have utility bill. So every month we send in. It's like this takes care of the utility bill. You see what I mean? Every month.
You do yours
every month. It's a way to have it automated. I haven't gotten that far yet, but yeah.
I tried. I tried to get a 1099. I tried to do the 1099 online, and they said I needed some other type of number. So I said I'll just do the paperwork.
Yeah.
Because it was asking me for another freaking number, and I was like, and then you had to go to this other website and fill out the paperwork for that number. Then you had to go back to 1099. It's something that you have to put in when you're doing your 1099 electronically, and they ask for this number.
Yeah, because we shouldn't be doing electronically anyway. Like, you know, that electronic stuff, we only supposed to do that when we absolutely have to. We waive a lot of rights like that. Especially when we got to sign for stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, if we remember, like a lot of these things we can flip over a lot easier too. Like especially with dealing with lenders and stuff like that. When we create these promissory notes, by make sure we reserving our rights within the contract by signing the UCC 1-308 next to the signature.
Exactly. Yeah, I do that on everything. Matter of fact, I was watching USFL. And he was also saying every time you do your address, put non-domestic, non-assumptive.
Mm-hmm. Without UCC or put the zip codes and brackets too.
Right.
Care
of.
Matter
of fact, I decided that if you notice on my UCC, on my Form 56, I got buku of those. All I got to do is go to the second page and sign it. I got millions of copies of my Form 56. And that's what I want to do with this 1099.
Did you Did you ever call back to the county and check on that on the bond for that court case?
Oh, I meant to call and tell you that. You mean when I got that ticket?
Okay, nah, I wasn't talking about the ticket, but I just opened up an old email of yours. I'm like, then what is this? I'm like, oh, I forgot you sent
That's
this
that
to me.
ticket. That's when I got that hit, remember that little hit town.
Right,
And I did, you see how I did that accessible value on that appearance bond?
right, yeah.
That's what I did to their letter that I couldn't use.
Regarding that ticket,
And
right?
when I accepted that for value, sent it in, and I checked the record, and that case is closed. I just never sent that back to you. That was my bad.
So that's
But
so.
yeah, I accepted it for value, just like I did that appearance bond. But I told you they didn't have a freaking amount on it. Did you see that letter? I don't know if you recall, but there was no amount. They just told me pay it or my license gonna be suspended.
If
Well,
you,
y'all ain't even got an amount on here.
all right. So
Well,
I'm looking at the presentment from the court. This is on 8/22. You got your name and stuff. You got the violation number,
yeah,
and then you have failed to comply with the terms of the citation described above, and that you did not pay the fine and costs or appear in court before the appearance date set forth for the citation. Failure to pay the fine and
right.
costs. Okay, so this is them talking, responding to you.
Exactly. And then on that same letter, I put accepted the value and all that red, like I did parent bond, and I sent them a form 56.
So you took this letter, put the accept for value stamp on there sent that in with the form 56.
Right.
Case dismissed.
Business.
Gotcha. All right. So look now. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna share. I haven't told nobody else this yet. Now, you know, let me hold on. Let me get my notebook. Let me get my notes.
Okay.
Hold on. All right. Okay. So while I'm opening up my Google Drive, let me see, because I want to. And I'm gonna send you all these documents too when we get done.
Okay.
All right. Now, that on that presentment that you got back from court regarding that ticket, and I've seen this on a couple other documents that they sent you back. The clerk. Okay, this is one thing. Now, one of my my main mentor as far as dealing with the 1099 process and a lot of court dealings. I've come into understanding that the banking, another banking institute that we fail to realize is a banking institution and operates as a banking institution is our court system, is our local courts.
Yeah. Administrative banking system. Yeah.
Exactly. So we have so based on that concept, we can better understand how to proceed with them by categorizing their personal titles and positions. So if we know we dealing with the clerk is the teller. The teller, we tell what we tell the teller what we're trying to do. Now
she got the little power in the freaking building.
Because we need when we're doing commercial business, we're doing commercial business and transactions with the court. We need that step that she's put on your on this letter that she sent you, and she put it on a couple other ones too. That seal from that courthouse, from that clerk, is monetizes that document, that transaction.
Exactly. Yep.
The president operates as the judge. The persecutor is the person that makes the clerk do her job. You know what I'm saying? Or his job, if they refuse to do so. Then we have the who else do we have there? We have I wrote them all down. Okay. All right. So the concept of banks. Now, when we sign up, when we sign up for another bank account, in order for that bank account to be active, what do they require to be on file?
Your signature, don't they?
Exactly. Our signature card. That's what. Remember, our signature produces the funds in any commercial activity. So they need their signature has to be on file. So just like we put everything on the record. Now remember, the United States is in bankrupt. Been bankrupt since 1933. So there is no money. They know this.
Right.
So all we gotta do is find ways to prove to them our acknowledgement that there is no money, and based on the fact there is no money, by law, why do they have to discharge the debt, or based on presentment? Now,
right.
So in order to, so when we dealing within the court bank, we have to also put in, it's called a signature and authorization notice on file inside of the local court and inside the same court inside the bankruptcy court.
Signature authorization form.
Yep, and so now our signature is on file, and we have with authorization. Now we can start discharging debts through the courts using the form SAV 1455, 1522, and SF 1047, which goes up to the bankruptcy court, which they give us the receipt for the transaction. And not only give us the receipt for the transaction, they give us the remaining balance. So that makes us excited to get tickets and citations now, because now we're gonna get returns from it.
Gotcha. Now the signature authorization form, did the court give that to you, or you made it up?
You create that.
Okay.
And that's filed in the bankruptcy court, and also filed in miscellaneous records. Now, so say for instance, so we have a ticket. We have a ticket. We go into the bank. We talk to the teller, the clerk. You see what I mean? And we have the ticket alongside with the form with the SAV 1455. That the 1455 is the main discharge form, which is the Treasury form.
Okay.
The physical Department of Physical let me pull it up real quick. Google Drive.
So it looks like you're saying it's three forms: the SAV 1455, 1522, and the SF 1047.
Yep, SF 1047.
Okay.
Yep. So, all right. Now I'm moving around. I'm skipping around. I'm looking over my sloppy notes.
That's all right. I'm following.
All right. So, taking the security to the bank, checking, investigating digit number. All right. So now one remedy that I was presented by my mentor was it was the concept of, okay, so with any bank, and this is dealing with the bank now, a traditional bank.
Yeah.
Now, as bankers inside of a particular bank, a banking institution, we are insured just as well as the bank is.
Right.
Okay, and we actually pay into that, because actually the bank is insured double, because they're insured by the FDIC and they're insured by the people of the bank that deposit money into the bank every day.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So not only do we make traditional deposits, we also get charged in a lot of these banks monthly maintenance fees and stuff like that.
Right.
Like they're sweeping up the floor or something. Okay,
Gotcha.
so now in our traditional bank, what monetizes our documents is the medallion stamp. So we have to deal with the banks that have a medallion officer. Now, inside of the court, it's the clerk. The clerk stamp it works as the medallion stamp, which monetizes the transaction. Now, just like any policy on the concept of like like let's say like an advisor might tell us it might be good to get a whole life insurance policy, right? because we can create life benefits as opposed in the midst of having death benefit. Okay, you're gonna die, and then your family gonna get paid or your kids gonna get paid, but there's a life benefit of having a whole life policy because you can take from it while you're still here. So what we do is we do a draw against the insurance policy at the bank by putting down the FDIC insurance policy, the date you open the account, and put it down for like $100,000. Put the account number you use when you open up the account, which is the EIN number or Social Security number, and then we register it with the bank with the signature card, and we medallionize that form, which is we still dealing with the form. It's a spot on the form for the stamp for the stamp. It's the form. It's still dealing with the form 1456. This is the direct Treasury transaction form.
Okay. Now that whole life policy, where do you get that from?
You can get that from anywhere. Anybody that does.
But when you get the whole life policy, that's when you involve the bank.
No. I was saying just like you can retrieve take from funds from a whole life policy.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Right.
After a certain amount of
time. Yeah, of putting into it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now
the thing is, the FDIC, it's already established. Money has already been put into the policy in conjunction with everybody that's a part of the policy. We're just jumping into it.
Even though you haven't started putting money,
right?
Paying premiums.
The policies didn't just start when you created the bank account.
Gotcha.
You see what I mean? So the time, there is no time period where you have to wait. It was established with the banking institution probably when they started.
Gotcha.
But it's for the people just as much as it's for the bank.
Okay, yeah, I be getting a lot of them offers with whole life policy, and I'm like, oh my God, another bill.
yeah, especially if you don't plan on leveraging it later or sooner than later.
Right.
Because we're giving them free money.
Yeah, that's true.
There's ways to monetize all these policies. You'll find it funny, because I was just about to start one a couple months ago. You'll find it extremely funny that when you sign off on an insurance policy, especially with a major company, that they will not allow you to reserve your rights within that contract.
What do you mean? They won't allow you to?
If you sign your name UCC 1-308 next to there, they're rejected.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a letter in the mail. I had an independent agent sign me up for New York Life, and I told her I can't sign any contracts document without reserving my rights in it. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, okay, well let me talk to my boss and stuff like that, and she ended up accidentally sending me over the response that her boss gave her.
Uh-oh.
But she didn't know no better. I'm looking, but all she did was give me verification that what I'm doing is correct. You know what I'm saying? And the weight that holds just by simply reserving your rights in the contract. They know that if I reserve my rights in this contract, he literally said in the email, if we ever go to court for this or whatever like that, they said the courts will hang us. You know what I'm saying? The courts will hang us.
Wow.
So the power.
So they know.
Yeah, they know. They know exactly.
Wow.
Especially the banks.
So they declined it?
They would not let me do it because they wouldn't let me reserve my rights.
Gotcha.
Yep. That was fine though, but because they still gave me what I need to know. I'm like, thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So life is a lot easier, and we got a lot more control if we reserve our rights in the beginning.
Have you ever tried to pay a bill for a family member?
Nah, I never tried that.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Because, and the reason why I say that is because I I was asking, I was on a webinar with UTEP, and that, that's, he helped me to doing this bond for my son. So.
Oh, he did?
He said, yeah, and that's when he said, because I said, well, can't I do this? He said, if I tell you, if you pay my house note, I'm gonna let you. So he's making me think that you can't. I ain't tried it.
I mean, shoot, all actuality, I mean, you did just, even though that's your son, you did just, discharge something on somebody else's behalf.
Exactly, and not SPP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, you say you're still waiting for a response from that.
Well, I've given them enough time, so I got this notarized presentment I'm ready to send tomorrow, certified mail, and just so you know, it's I put on here, and it's called in the district court for the county of Murray, state of Oklahoma, criminal division, and then it's set up like an affidavit, and it says demand for dismissal, and it also gives federal rules of civil procedures that I got, and it says, and it lists lack of ratification of commission, there is no corpus delicti, there is no plaintiff, lack of evidence that alleged defendant was operating a vessel.
Gotcha.
And then at the bottom of it, I put in, I think I told you, I put in bill of cause. For instance, on one it says denial and abuse of due process, $2 million. Obstruction of justice, $2 million.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, that Form 56 that Form 56 really backs them against the wall because once you make them the judge personally liable and the court liable, and they're like, okay, it's out of their interest now, and it's more so now. It's a personal liability, and it's like they don't want to deal with that. Now,
I'm ready to do another Form 56 too. I'm putting it all over here again. Since they want to ignore me, any kind of statement I'm gonna send to them, I'm sending a Form 56.
Yeah, that's you know what I just came to that same conclusion too, because I'm tired of going second rounds with these people.
Well, because I didn't know that that last page is where you put who you want to be fiduciary. I didn't know that until I started doing some investigation. Because a lot of people leave that blank because they don't know what goes there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who you want to make liable for it?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Put it.
A lot of people think it's just the first page,
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, you got to do your research.
These documents are provided for us. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna teach us how to use them.
There ain't no pump though.
No. Mm-mm.
They can hurt you or they can help you if you don't know what you're doing.
You're right. You're definitely right. You have this, so request by fiduciary for distribution of United States Treasury securities. So that's what we're dealing with. This is the Physical Service Bureau of Physical Services and U.S. Department of Treasury.
Okay.
That's this form right here. You know what? You on your computer now?
Say that again?
You on your computer now?
No.
Okay.
Did you say it?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you that whole Dropbox.
Okay.
Send that whole Dropbox.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, you'll see all the
I'll
documents.
be up for a while. I'm gonna look into all this because, like I said, I need a car IRS tomorrow and see if I can stuff that 1099 and the 1096. So I'm sending all this certified mail to Capital One. And you send all your stuff certified mail, though?
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why, just like you had said earlier about whoever was doing stuff through the website, like I said, that's the second time I heard that, and I'm like, I know stuff works, but I'm like, that's usually like a no-no, going through the website portals and stuff like that.
It was a no for me once they tried to get me to go through hoops just to do it. I'm like, no, I'll do the paperwork. Because I'm like you. If it takes that much work, you might as well get your hand work.
Yes, I want to be able to sign my red ink, my blue ink on that, and I want to be able to sign on that.
True.
And I want them. And the thing about it is that, see, that to me that gives them too much leeway to not contract, because basically when we send the whole concept of sending certified registered mail is to get a signature. You know what I'm saying? Then we order the green card to get back. Now we have tangible evidence of that signature and a public record of the transaction, or the date, the time that it was received. That's what we need. That gives us standing to challenge.
Yeah. So I can go ahead and once I get this 1099, I can do these 10 months of utilities that I done paid.
See, no. Are you talking about getting it back, getting the refund back?
I don't know. I just know that, actually, I don't know. I just know that, I have read that you can do the 1099 on utilities and you can go back 3 years.
Oh, no, that's okay. So remember, we got different types of 1099s. A lot of them, actually. But the main ones that we use is 1099As. Which is
that's what we're talking about. The A for my utilities this year.
That's not
you do yours every month, right?
Right. That would be for current transactions or whatever. But to get like you said, to get back up to I think it's longer than 3 years too. You use the 1099 OIDs for those.
I wonder if it's the same year though.
Same year. No, I think that's 1099As.
So that's what I'm saying. I just been in my place since February.
Okay, so you're talking about just this, yeah, 1099As.
Yeah, I just read somewhere you could go back 3 years.
Yeah.
So I can do the 1099A for this year.
Yep.
So the OID is for older people. What's the OID for then?
The OID is actually used for several different things. We can use that to get back, like if we were paying taxes at one. Now this is the thing. If we were paying taxes to get back the refund from the taxes that we paid, all the taxes we paid instead of portions. But the thing about it is the do's and don'ts on using 1099s. Once we go over to the 1099s, which the proper form is supposed to use and doing business with Internal Revenue, we can no longer do 1040 forms.
Right. What is it? How do you file your taxes then?
We don't do 1040s. We have to. We can't use the Social Security number doing it. We have to use the EIN number, and we have to reserve our rights within that form. We supposed to be using 1099s, miscellaneous for any type of independent contracting.
Okay.
So we got to be that we can get in trouble for because that's mixing private and public.
Gotcha. So with the 1099A, you're literally still putting your social.
We're using the social but we're using it as an account number though.
Right, because you paid in.
Exactly.
To somebody.
Right, because there's no option on there to say Social Security number. It's account number.
Oh, okay. So it says account number on the 1099A?
Yeah, because that's the information they're going to request. They're going to request the EIN or of the borrower and the lender and any affiliating account numbers. Whether you're looking at, you're probably going to put the contract number of the vehicle. If you have I put the contract number and my EIN and social.
Okay.
Yep.
So, but when you do utilities every month,
yeah, you're gonna get you got that account number.
And just for that month, that amount.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay. Look, so since everything like subconsciously and unconsciously, these corporations have what we need to be able to operate. You know what I'm saying, and complete these transactions. They might not even know what it's for. Just like when you buy a car, they send you, or you can request for them to send you a payment book, which is a coupon book of all your payments. Those coupons have numbers on it. Those are account numbers and route numbers. We have to accept.
I got that.
and it has the exact number amount for each. We supposed to use those because that's what I sent in with my car. I sent in, I snatched those off and I attached those to it. You know, that's the payment. You already sent me the payment. A coupon has value to it if we accept it. Just like the coupon at the bottom of the utility bill. It's a coupon.
Yeah, there's numbers on there.
Yeah, it's because it's a check. We got to write it out as a money order.
Let me tell you, somebody said that, I don't remember who it was. They took that coupon and they knew exactly what the routing number and account number was, and they called the utilities and gave them their own information.
Somebody said they did that?
Yeah. Paid it up. Paid it with their routing number and their account number. Because that's what was on there.
I want to do that work. I want to try that.
I know. But you don't know which numbers. It's so many numbers. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you don't know what numbers is what. But they said call in and give them that routing number and that account number that's on your coupon. It should pay it.
Wow. Well, you know what? An easy way to try that out, because now that's something we can do online.
Exactly. I just don't know which is, and so you can't keep putting in numbers on utilities because they'll lock your butt out.
Yeah.
You gotta know your stuff. That's why I think the guy said he called it in.
Okay.
So when they pull it up right then, they can tell you if that's a good number.
Okay.
But if you do it on the system and it goes through, then and it don't work and you keep trying it, the only thing they give you. Remember when they was them crazy people was trying to get money from the Fed?
Right. Yeah.
And they were doing reversals and fees. I think some people talking about they can't even use ACH on their account.
Oh no, they can't at all.
Crazy.
Gotta go in person and pay in cash. They don't even want debit cards.
Or debit. They use debit. Or credit card. But ACH was not a choice anymore. And I'm like, because I ain't gonna lie, I tried it too. And I would get online and tell them, y'all, pay your bill. This may not work.
Right.
And people weren't paying their bills, talking about, I ain't got no money. You're supposed to go out and spend your bill money. This is something new.
Right. We testing the waters,
Yeah. And I ain't heard no success.
Nah, nope. They still won't give it up.
I don't even follow no more, so I don't even know how this whole thing is going now.
Yeah, man. That lady done got out of jail and all types. The main one, the Heather Ann.
Crazy lady?
Yeah.
She was in jail?
Yep.
For the checks?
For 'cause she was responsible one of the main ones responsible for the whole movement to get everybody going out here doing all this stuff.
Well, Harvey Dent should have went to jail. He did something like $2 million for pardon Barclay.
Nah, his stuff got. That's the reason why he didn't go to jail, because it's just like if you're in the store stealing, but you end up putting the stuff back before you leave out the store. It's not considered stealing, or you never get out the store with it. See, he never got a chance to cash out. Now she got locked up in conjunction with pretending like she was an attorney unlawfully.
Oh, you just I remember when I said crazy lady. There literally is a person's name, crazy lady.
Oh, the lady that be in her tent.
Yeah. Okay, you talking about that other woman that man kept doing all them freaking wire transfers.
Yeah. And he got the RV. He ended up cashing out on one of those security, those CDs from one of those banks or whatever.
Yeah, but he was stupid. He knew that there was reversal. He didn't even wait.
Nah, as soon as it's cleared, he took.
Get out.
Yeah, he took it out. That was like 500,000. I think he took out.
Yeah, moved it to another account.
Yeah, so yeah, they coming for that. Yeah, you better believe that.
Okay.
They coming for that.
They was like, ain't no money. Look, now they was like, ain't no money.
Yeah.
Funny. I said, that man should have went to jail. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't, that is wire fraud. Whatever you get, so that man didn't wait for the 5 to 7 days to 10 day reversal. He took it out as soon as it said, posted it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think that was a little scam anyway with that woman. I didn't trust her anyway. So.
Yeah, she was out here looking real
and
bad.
You know they still acting like that woman filed UCC for everybody.
On the behalf of everybody.
So they like, we don't need to do paperwork. I said, y'all tripping.
Right.
I said, y'all sounding like the government now.
Yeah.
They done took our birth certificates. Now you tell me this woman's doing stuff for everybody.
Right. On the behalf of everybody.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, okay. This still with the same person that did everything on the behalf of us. She's locked up. So now, how safe do y'all feel now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, stop
and
it.
They come out of this actual, what is it called? Some kind of trust.
Fractionalized trust or whatever.
Yeah. What the heck? I read that thing. I literally took it out, printed it out, and read it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this don't make no sense. And I looked. I'm telling you, I went and looked on what a trust should have in it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got through reading hers and looking to see what a trust should have in it, 5 things was missing already.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, if I recall, a trust is for 7 years. She ain't had no date.
She ain't had no date.
No. It's like a lifetime trust she made. It was just, people wasn't reading. I said, y'all need to read this thing. It doesn't make no sense. I done read about what a trust should have in it. And 5, and I listened to them too on our talk. I said, there's 5 things missing on this trust, y'all. But they wouldn't listen. They went and got it notarized and did some purple signatures.
These people don't want to do no work. They don't want to do no paperwork. People tell people, we don't got to do no paperwork. That's unbelievable to me.
Right.
Like, how do you think we don't have to do any? The world revolves around contracts. What makes you think we don't have to do any paperwork? What makes you think that?
It was telling her to F paperwork.
So in essence,
now he's homeless.
yeah, he's been homeless. He was staying with a friend, and bouncing here, bouncing. He's been homeless, and the point is, these are the people that the mass majority in the public was listening to. The crazy lady was always in a park in a tent. Heather Rand's always looking like she all stressed out, looked like she need to take a hit or something. You know, look like you can tell.
He was living in a trailer.
Yeah, and I realized from doing this whole thing and this movement was that there's a sorority out here of a lot, especially a lot of white folks, of a lot of pro-white folks out here.
See, I didn't just say when I first started looking at that actualized trust stuff. I said, y'all, then I freaking did a research on her. And she used to be with some company or something called OPP.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened with that? Somebody got locked up with that too.
Yeah. I'm like, y'all better do y'all work. And then they wanted to send money to the jail. And I'm like, y'all got the wrong person here. I need all my pennies.
Yeah.
Y'all tripping. I ain't sending no stranger no money. Then even they had it to where they was trying to get people to go to Washington to her court hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, they was tripping. That woman had them hoodwinked.
Yeah. I know she got a heavy following. I got so many trolls from her. It's ridiculous. I ain't never got so much hate mail in my life.
Oh, they was on you?
Oh yeah, that's how I really like, man. They like crazy. One video had like 70,000. But they still talk crazy to me. Like you don't know. I'm like, oh my god. And I never even said nothing bad about it. All thing I said was, people need to need to stop taking things for face value, and
Right.
and she's held responsible, her along with Harvey Dent, for putting information out there prematurely, considering
But
that.
you think they got pissed at her. You know they got pissed at her when she got out of jail.
And they ain't heard nothing from her.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I bet they did.
They was pissed. Where's Heather? Where's Heather?
And remember, at this point, everybody that got their reversals, everybody got smacked around with reversals by this time. You know what I'm saying? So now they,
Yeah.
you know, now they in a worse position than what they started, because depending on what type of reversals they was getting to whatever corporation, you get the reversal back plus reversal fees.
Right. Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Man,
That was crazy.
now they stuck. Like,
You got me doing some homework tonight, man, which I totally want to.
yeah, same here. You got me doing some homework too. We got to get this.
But I will. I meant to send you my template, so I'll send that to you of that bill of exchange that I did. And I'm gonna send the instructions too on how I got that barcode on there. There's a barcode website to where you can put the number that you want in the barcode.
Is it the QR code?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where when I send that template, you'll see the barcode. But of course I'll have my social marked out. But that's what the markout is my social.
So you embedded your social into the QR.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And put it on the bill of exchange.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you you said you did what's the status on what's the status on, well, first of all, let me make sure I asked you initially about that court case. So did your son have another court date recently?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Now, was it a court date after the fact that when you bonded him out?
Yes, 10-3. But if you look at the paperwork, I sent it before the court date.
Right. So 10-3. So from 10-3, from that court date on 10-3, they haven't been in contact with you about that case.
Exactly.
Did you
so
call?
That's why I'm going to send this presentment.
Did you inquire?
And after, I think you wait 14 days before you send in something like that.
Yeah, it depends on how many time, how long you gave. If it's 10 days and you send them something by the 15th day.
Yeah, I was 10, so haven't heard it, so I'm gonna send this certified mail in the morning.
Have you called in to check, like, just a soft inquiry about the case?
No, I looked it up.
You looked it up?
And they got and all those forms that you got that I sent you. They're recorded on there.
So you looked up the case and all your documents came up.
Yep. Every single one of them, the bond, everything, the instructions, everything.
Okay. All right. So yeah, keep me posted on that after you send that.
Yeah, I will.
What about
for sure.
What about you said you tried to do something with some furniture?
Yeah, that one I just I got some paperwork in. I'm trying to get organized. I'm still trying to find it because I got envelopes with stuff marked and I got 2 file cabinets.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what I'm gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do because I ain't computer savvy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get some flash drives and I'm gonna scan everything into my flash drive.
Okay. Cool.
And that's because I can't do this paper. It's getting on my nerves.
Yeah, it's a lot of paper.
Yeah, but those flash drives hold a lot of data.
Yeah, I have a 250 gig drive.
Right, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm getting all of it ready, and then I'm gonna just label everything and put a little label on each flash drive, and put because I'm doing my UCC, everything that I found with the Secretary of State, all three of them. I'm going to scan them and, have all those little sticks for everything. So that's what my plan is. And matter of fact, that's what I'll be doing all week because I need to get that so I can get it uploaded so you can check it out. Because once it's on my flash drive, I'm good. But this paper is driving me crazy.
Yeah, trying to keep everything in order and stuff.
Yeah. I got envelopes and I got stuff written on the envelope. Then when I go in the freaking envelope, there's some more stuff in the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
But I do have it to lease where when I did do the certified mail, I did paperclip everything. So now all I got to do is scan it on my computer. I will still keep the paperwork, but at least it'll be on there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I just sent you that the email and with the documents that we talked about, as far as dealing with the courts as a bank, and then the resource that I got from my mentor that I got all my information from dealing with this process, and he has all type of other stuff. I sent you a link to his website. He passed away earlier this year or whatever, but they got.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, they got all his stuff, man. This dude, man, he got so much stuff, man. It's endless.
How was he?
He was I want to say he was knocking on 70.
Oh, he was young now.
He was a cool white guy, older white guy, or whatever.
Oh, okay, white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I'm knocking 55, so.
Yeah, you still that mind still working like it's 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've been woke.
It got to in order to deal with this type of stuff.
I mean, oh my gosh. So I don't even want TV no more. I'm just.
Yeah, nothing's on.
Yeah, I'm always on my computer trying to do some stuff. If nothing else, just reading up. And oh my goodness, I need to find where do you go to in your state for like a law library. I mean a law place to that law section. I went to the library here, and they didn't know I was coming to my law section, and it was sorry. So I'm trying to figure out where else can go.
Well, for the stuff that we dealing with,
Yeah.
I always recommend the Black's Law Dictionary.
Right. But I'm saying these little hick-tail libraries are a joke around the neighborhood.
Nah, you're gonna have to order one, but you should order a hard copy. But I can send you over the PDF of it if you need it.
I got the PDF.
Okay.
But I was just talking about like going to a place where we can look at cases and stuff.
Yeah. Because you know what? Yeah, because that's I have some stuff with cases that I have a lot of different stuff. I can see, but it's hard to find those different things inside of these libraries. They trying to slowly get rid of the libraries.
Yeah, I think somebody said you probably maybe go to a school, like a university maybe.
Well, you got to go to the I know I have one here in Chicago, but it's like the big library. You got to go to a big one, like the main library. Then they have all that stuff. They still have it. I think they have to have it. Yeah.
Let me ask you, what you think about this Kanika Jenkins thing?
Man, I was just talking stuff about that somebody else that came to me with that stuff. Like, look, you see the pictures? Look, you see this? You see? Huh?
Are you close to Roseline?
Nah, I'm not close to Roseman. That's west suburb.
Okay.
Nah, but I'm not far. Something like 45 minutes, maybe 55, something like that.
Okay.
But nah,
that's a nice little ride, so.
Yeah. That's.
Okay.
I hope. I feel sorry for her and her family and stuff like that. But like you said, when it comes down to stuff that's on the media, you can't. You got to really look between the lines on stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Oh, well, it's all crooked. I already know
yeah,
that.
like the latest
Yeah.
pictures dropped that they show her clothes being off and the struggle, like it was some type of struggle and scratches on her arm, stuff like that. I'm like, so y'all didn't notice that they didn't mention none of this stuff in the middle of the investigation?
Right. Well, it was already decided it was accidental. So it was a done deal.
They already said. They said hypothermia or some shit. Like so if they already said that the cause of death was because of that. Don't you think they would have realized if she was all stretched out and half dressed and all this other stuff? Like I don't feed into that stuff. Like especially stuff that don't make sense.
Right. It's a definite cover up. So, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can talk about it, but once they make their decision, and from what I understand, the Rosemont area is owned by brothers and cousins and uncles and aunties. So.
Now, if there is some type of cover up, all I know is there's always possibilities. Now, if they clearly found that girl in the freezer as they presented finding her, because that type of information would have been out to the public, because it would have been more so energy being geared to find out who did that to her, as opposed to doing all these videos, everybody trying to cut clips and figure out who went in the freezer with, who lured her in the freezer, and who did what they like. It wouldn't have been no point of doing all that. You know what I'm saying? If it was clear that she was sexually assaulted or whatever. DNA test would have. Of course they went through that with DNA tests to see if that happened, or drugs when they tested her system, stuff like that. We clearly know that she was messed up. So it's like,
and it's obvious these YouTubers are just getting this monetization for this stuff. So.
Yeah, they will not give it up. They will not give it up. Like stop it. Like nobody really cares that much about her death. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to keeping the story going. You know what I'm saying? Like stop it, man. Yeah, so I don't know. I think if anybody's trying to cover something up, the reason why I might still be lingering on like this and this new footage coming out it could be possibly to try to protect the name of the Rosemont Hotel.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because now
that was my first thought.
If you can make it look like that, yeah.
My thing is they were trying to say that gang related and stuff. So my biggest thought was, why would this high profile hotel cover for some niggas?
Thank you. That's my point. So I talk each time like the type of group that we're talking about, some young niggas, some young regular niggas, Negroes. You know what I'm saying? They don't give two shits about the murder, none of that. You know what I'm saying? As opposed, I'm talking about deeply. The thing is that if it was a lot of time, effort, and money, and trying to make a story, it'd be for them to cover their name, because now it's gonna boil back to, if that was an accident that happened, if she just politely walked into that freezer, and just because of the publicity that came with that, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, how can, is this supposed to be some high profile hotel? How does somebody just walk through past security and all this other places, it ends up in the like, how did she end up in there and nobody noticed it? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, so that kind of challenges their personal security, and like we people don't feel secure going there. Why should we go ahead and pay our money here? You got a body on y'all record now.
Yep. All I see is mom getting paid. We're going soon.
Man, big huge lawsuit. And she being quiet too. I said the mama being quiet too.
That's because you ain't get paid.
You said she ain't got nothing to see. She waiting for that check. That's it.
She waiting for that check.
That's
she
it.
got them lawyers working it. She ain't got to say a word.
Man. It's just too much going on.
I sure appreciate your conversation and very, very good information.
Definitely. Congratulations on that scenario, and this is let's definitely get this work done. Work on this next stuff. So let's put it on the drawing board on what's next. So we got to deal with these properties on fully discharging.
Yeah, you know what I would like to see as this this site and members and stuff. And it's all about a community, and like you said, conscious community. If we was really, everybody really wanting to get this done, you know what we could do? We could put everybody that's on that team, could all of us get a trust.
Right.
With all of our names in it and get our own company going. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yep.
And that's what I would like to see. You know, one day we all set up, call it Hailrazorlegacy, Trust, whatever, and start making business for ourselves and get out of white man's pockets.
That's what we got to do, because we contradicting the movement.
Yeah.
We contradicting the movement,
Yeah.
you know?
And once, you know, of course it has to be irrevocable, but once we do that and we start doing our own businesses, and like you said, there's different states that involved, you know, like Oklahoma to be one of them, you know what I'm saying? And get some stuff going for our people.
Yep.
And when I say our people, that's everybody but the elite.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a white and black thing.
Yeah, exactly. I keep saying that it's not a white and black thing, because we got all type of members in the group actually in the network.
Right.
You know, young,
right.
older, white, black, yellow, whatever.
Right.
You know, that's what it's
and
about.
And keep our hands together and get businesses, some type of business that we can do, and just have charters in every state that we represent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody told me, I'm going to put this out there to you too. Somebody told me there's a way to do some type of bond inside the trust. I'm looking into that, you know, where literally you can monetize it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You said put the bond inside the trust.
There's our, and then of course if we can find, you know, someone to pay our bills, you know, we ain't gonna touch you. We do all of that will be the beneficiaries.
Well, no, yeah, that's exactly how it's supposed to be established, and then we appoint the trustee.
We just have to get people as a trustee that we all can trust. You know what I'm saying? But I think it could happen. But like you said, you got to get them know-it-all to come together and just, you know, quit trying to tell everybody what to do.
Well, just like this corporation got established, it started off with a few people. You know what I'm saying? So the same way this has to work. It has to start with a few people that get it first. You know what I'm saying? A few people that get it. We get it and we get it started, and then we'll allow people time to we still get information out and do whatever to help the people get caught up. But until they're ready, you know, they'll just be.
Right.
We'll just have to, you know, provide them with the materials and if need be, provide them with the services to help them do whatever they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like that's just how it have to roll. But we would damn near really be establishing our own new government type. You know.
Yes. Exactly.
You know.
Exactly, because I'm telling you in a minute, I know we already in New World Order, but, you know, in a minute, they're going to be trying to knock on folks' doors, telling you to get out, you know?
Yeah.
And we can show, hey, we ain't a part of this country. The United States.
Well, that's a big that exactly. See, you know what? I hope something like that happens. Only because that'll give opportunity for people to wake up. See, sometimes somebody got it. Sometimes some people just got to get smacked in the face with reality.
Right.
Before they, because you got the people that know some things are going on, but to try to ignore it. You got the people that know it, but you know it's like so. At some point, we need some rude awakenings, so for people to wake up. Because at this point, we can't keep delivering information and everybody wants you to tell them stuff all sugar coated and pretty, and this and that. Like no, because we're too far behind schedule. We're too far behind schedule. So like that we are part of it as a citizen of the United States, yes, and we are wards to the states. We haven't corrected our status in that matter, which means at any time a city or state has to call National Guards, you know that's declaring martial law inside that city and state. Which anytime the military is around and you hear martial guard, we in martial law. I mean national.
Like that freaking prison that they got on Houston
You heard about the Walmarts, and
Yeah.
yeah, the
But you know,
whole
I don't know if they're out of Walmart now, but the last time I looked up it, you know, when I seen that barge coming into Houston and they show the inside of it looking like a freaking prison and
yeah.
4 levels,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. I
Yeah.
would not go in there.
Yes. They got the concentration camps underground ready for in all the major cities.
Oh, yeah.
The stackable caskets, the ones that stack on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh, yeah.
they already been caught dumping bodies out here. You know, they put them in the ground, then raise them back up and dump the body and resell the spot.
Exactly. But you know what? You're right. There's so many underground places in this world. It is crazy. And it ain't for us.
We got to create our own underground railroads.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. We got to create our own habitat. Okay?
We need our own personal security and insurance policies. Our insurance policies are not a typical insurance policy. Our insurance policies are us, individual people that we can depend on. Like, yo, if we have a situation, being detained. You know what I'm saying? What do we do? Being arrested, being, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. We have to have procedures and remedy to deal with these situations. That's the only way we gonna.
And see, that's why those successes that we have when somebody has a problem from the group, they can go to their own success, group area that you make, and all they gotta do is mimic what worked and get out of that situation.
That's it.
For sure. Or at least try. You know, like I said, it may not work for some and work for others.
Yeah, but we find other ways. The more we do it, the more we're gonna perfect it. The more we gonna have to tailor it per situation and circumstance.
Yeah, because I seen some guy putting all them forms out on the website. I'm like, man, this ain't helping nobody. All you doing is putting forms out there.
Oh, that's why I'm always going off on people. Like, and it's not the fact that I don't care about. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about people trying to redirect or give out information and stuff like that. The thing is, I understand what the majority of us are, and putting out too much random information at one time could be worse than no information because they're not gonna process it.
That's why I sent you that 56 form filled out.
Right, yeah. Yep.
You know, they don't help empty form. That's why
empty forms.
Logged on this 1099. Empty forms don't help.
Right. Speaking of that, I gotta. By the time you look at it, I'll upload the a couple of templates I have on that 1099 inside that same email I sent. So it's in that Dropbox. So I'll be loading up. Well, I'll be giving you different links to a whole bunch of different stuff in my Dropbox. This is my secret compartment here. So dig in that. I got stuff on land trust with these properties. Man, I got a whole like forget the property, purchase the land trust that the property is on, and then we got to be become the true landlord, not just buying a whole bunch of property.
Yes, exactly. All right, Lorenzo. Like I said, I appreciate your help.
It's been a pleasure. Definitely, I'm working on that, creating that other page of success testimonials and stuff like that. And like I said, just check your emails and stuff. I'll be sending you over a lot of my different resources I got.
All right, sounds good. You have a good week.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.